Related, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. All wonders they say shall never cease to happen. For all these years, we have been asking ourselves, why is it that African leaders can never be bold? They can never take decisive decisions. Like the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, said, they protect borders instead of protecting the people. Why is it that our leaders always take decisions that will not benefit us? Finally, the same people who are oppressing the African have just opened out to tell the African what they have done to make sure we will never rise up. According to this Frenchman, Africans are made to continue to remain poor simply because they get us leaders who can never stand up to them. They make sure these leaders will never put in policies that will benefit us the people. What they do best is to make sure these same leaders will continue to be coming for aid. They'll come for loans. They will force these leaders to privatize everything. Electricity, water, just to make sure that life becomes so unbearable for the people. These are the things that we have seen our leaders rising to fight against. And according to this man, anytime African leaders rise to fight against that system, they make sure they turn the country into chaos. They sponsor coup d'etats to overthrow such leaders, so they will bring in leaders who continue to serve their interests, like what we are seeing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso.
Family, you will still be shocked. Here is the plan they put in place. To better dominate us, yes, listen. Don't keep it to yourself. Share this in every corner, so that everyone can understand. What happens exactly? Yes, no, he. You would install leaders who serve interests. Foreigners, not their people. Find the most corrupt, the most easily manipulated, those who wish to wealth and status more than progress. Offer them power in exchange for their loyalty. If one leader emerges who really cares about Africa, get rid of him. Murder them if necessary. But if it's too complicated, simply destabilize their government and support one coup. If they talk about nationalizing resources, make one example. If they try to unite Africa, eliminate them before the idea spreads. You maintain Africa economically weak by you that it never industrializes. Let them export raw materials, but never let them transform them themselves. Control the mines, the oil fields, the rare minerals. Keep them for sale at low prices and buy expensive. If one country tries to free itself and build its own industries, sabotage him. 3. Impose sanctions, destabilize his currency. Finance local opposition, make its economy collapse. If it doesn't work, orchestrate one civil war. People can't build when they are too busy trying to survive. You would ensure that their education system, product of workers, not innovators. Teach them a story that glorifies their oppressors. Make them believe that their cultures are primitive, that their ancestors were savages, that their future depends on foreign approval. Train them to remember, not think critically. Keep their best and most authentic, looking for opportunities abroad. Make them dream of leaving Africa rather than repairing it. Offer scholarships that bring their most brilliant minds to the West and never encourage them to come back. Leave the continent, continue to train physicians and engineers only to enrich other nations. You would own their media, control their stories. Dictate their image to the world. Make them think they are corrupt, hopeless, eternally in crisis. Flood their screens with pornography of poverty and war zone show. Their charitable advertisements that make them believe they are powerless without help to minimize their success. Turn their victory into an isolated incident. If one Asian country develops one revolutionary innovation, give credit to one foreign investor. If one implements one successful policy, present it as an anomaly rather than proof of competence. You would make sure it stays dependent. Drown them in debt. Offer loans with impossible conditions. Force them to privatize everything so that foreign companies have their electricity, their land. When they struggle, just give them those debts to keep them alive, but never enough to make them autonomous. Use charitable works to create a culture of dependence rather than resilience. Make them think that foreign intervention is necessary, that they cannot solve their own problems, that they always need help from the outside. You would suppress their military strength, keep their armies weak, their non-existent defense industries, sell them weapons so they can fight each other, but never let them develop one technology. Top military. If one country tries to build one strong defense system, accuse him of being a threat to stability. Make sure they still need a blue helmet. Foreign military base. Foreign advisor controlling their security. Keep them vulnerable to invasion, to coup d'etat and foreign interference. The formula is simple. Exploit des contrôles. Keep them fighting among themselves. Make them look outside for solutions. Keep them poor dependent on insecure. Ensure that every attempt to recover encounter one resistance so strong that the next generation think twice before trying again. No, it's not one theory, it's the story. The real question is not how to prevent Africa from becoming a great power, is how Africa can break the cycle, despite all efforts to keep it down. Family, I ask your forgiveness. Let's protect our three leaders of the US. Yes, those who understood. They are the ones who are helping us. They are the ones who understood the West. In this video, everything is inside. I ask your forgiveness. Let's protect our leaders of the US. Car, what is needed? They are doing to get Africa out of all these Machiavellian plans of the West. Please share the video there. It will happen everywhere. Even if you are still cheap, I think that after listening to this video, you will understand that your happiness is really at the Hall of the West, yes. This video explains everything. Everything is inside. Why you suffer. Why your country does not develop. Why you must not process your raw materials. Why he has to come and take less. Everything is inside. Thank you for sharing. And once again, I ask you to support. To pray for our leaders of the US. Because it is the best fight that are being fought. Lead yes. Share this in every corner. The fatherland or the death will overcome us. Long live the US.
They make sure the African never controls nothing. That was why the Sierra Leone First Lady said, each time you rise up to do something meaningful for your people, the big boss will show up. The resources are given to them. They give us leaders who will never stand up to them. And that is why we have these leaders being praised by the same people that are oppressing us. At the end of the day, they tell us how good these leaders are because the leaders allow them to be taking whatever they want. This thing that we are hearing, a lot of us might have heard it, some of us haven't heard it. But we are hearing what they are doing to us for all these years. And when we get up, we are the same people looking for solutions. That also buy into the idea that these leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso fighting for the total liberation of their countries to sing the songs of the oppressor, calling them juntas, calling them names. Africa has everything that it takes. But do we ask ourselves, why do these people praise the leaders who go for loans and do nothing at the end of the day? Why are they watching the leaders changing constitutions upon constitutions? Why are they always there to make sure at the end of every elections, they decide what they think is best before even the election results are declared? These are things the youth of Africa must consider. We are no longer the ones fabricating these things. They themselves are telling us what they have been doing to us for all these years. Yet we still find ourselves in a situation where we believe whatever that they say. We always see them to be the credible ones. They tag our leaders like what they are doing currently to the president of Burkina Faso, claiming that he is violating human rights. Yet we know that this man coming into office is beneficial to the people in Burkina Faso because now they control their resources. Nobody dictates to them. They don't go to IMF, World Bank. They are nationalizing everything. And these are the things they don't want. They always want us to have leaders who obey them. Can't you see what is happening in our respective countries? They have privatized this, they have privatized that. Nothing is being owned by us any longer. And when they want to sell this narrative to us, the citizens, they find people who will come and sit on television to explain these things beautifully. And you think that something that the state hasn't been able to manage, giving it out to private institutions will rather help us. And this is why we are poorer and we keep becoming poorer. We don't have nothing, we don't build nothing, we don't use our resources to benefit us, to the point that even the resources, the prices are determined by them. And when they sit to discuss them, African leaders are not part of it. So these are things they have been doing. And that's why we have all the natural resources, we have the gold, we have everything, yet the African is still suffering. Yet the African is still in poverty. And we believe that leaving the continent to these places will rather open the doors. But nothing will change the fate of the African if the African never rises in unity to fight for total liberation. The only thing that will set us free is our unity and fighting for what is rightful ours. What is rightful ours? Like what the president of Burkina Faso, all in all, Captain Ibrahim Traoré said, that the black winter has started. And this black winter is either we unite to fight for our total liberation or we continue to remain slaves. Why is it that our leaders are always traveling to these places? Why is it that the same people who are crying for the African, preaching they love us, are watching leaders going for loans upon loans? And they come without using the money for nothing. They give them conditions that are not even favorable and they accept them. And they make it look as if with this thing that they are going for, the money, borrowing upon borrowing will change the narrative when we have all the resources. I hope the youth of Africa are watching, we are learning, we are reconscientizing our mentality, believing in ourselves and seeing that this is the right time for us all to rise up and fight for our total liberation. Because if you don't control anything, you don't control nothing and you don't have sovereignty. So Africa is just like somebody's backyard. But we, the ones that are living on the soil, are just, let's say, parasites. Because the real owners are there. For how long will it continue? And for how long will we continue to be watching for our leaders to be taken out simply because they are rising to fight for the total liberation of us? And we are the ones who always help in the singing of these songs against our own leaders. And the time has come for us to wake up. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in Africa.